Hello, welcome back to Forge Yourself Forward. I'm your host, Mike. Recently I was sitting down trying to come up with an idea for this podcast when my phone kept ringing. So obviously I got distracted, answered my phone. Then a notification popped up. Then one of my sons needed help. Then I needed to go and do something. And before I knew it, what I had intended to do, I put by the wayside. Didn't have a complete thought, didn't come up with an idea, but yet got sidetracked. And one of the reasons I think I got sidetracked is because in 2023, everything is moving so fast. And all signs seem to point that it's going to continue in that direction. We're simply going to get faster and faster and faster with the demands of everyday life. If you were to put it into perspective for a second, think about just 30 or 40 years ago. There weren't cell phones. There was no instant messenger. You didn't have constant emails going off. Social media wasn't dinging or alerting you. You didn't wonder if there was a like or somebody had tweeted you back. You didn't have necessarily all the television channels that we have, all these shows, all these streaming options. There was a lot less choice. There was a lot less distraction. But there was also a lot less input from a lot of outside sources which demand one thing above all else: your attention. And while I am certainly not railing against the technology of the day, I'd be kind of a hypocrite the fact that I'm making a video for you to watch about it. But have we lost something along the way? I think in a lot of ways that we have. One of the things that I do think that we lost along the way is the ability to sit down and have a complete thought. I thought about this the other day when I was trying to come up with an idea of something to talk about. And the reason why I came up with it, I was looking through my journal, and what I had noticed is the last few weeks my handwriting has become more and more disorganized, more difficult to read, mostly probably because I was rushed. I was rushing myself to do something else. I was trying to finish one task to get to another task to get to another task, and it just becomes an endless loop of task after task after task after task. And so on Saturday, I really thought about, how do I slow myself down? How do I actually have this complete thought and work it out for myself? And one way that I really thought to do it and became intentional was when I was doing my journaling, my pen to paper. Usually I'm thinking so fast my pen's trying to keep up with me. Instead, what I decided to do was being incredibly intentional with every single letter that I was writing. And I think it's really important. In today's day and age, when we have a tendency to type almost every single thing, and we're not really putting pen to paper very often, the speed at which you can type is a benefit. However, back in the day, or 25, 30 years ago, your penmanship was really important. And one of the nice things about penmanship was it allowed you to slow your thought process down because you can only write so fast. And if you wrote too fast, you couldn't even read what you were writing, which is usually what was happening to me. I had what they would call chicken scratch. So on Saturday, when I slowed myself down, I noticed a couple of things. First, allowing myself to fully think through the sentence or the idea that I was coming up with really allowed me to flesh it out. What was I actually trying to deal with? What was I actually trying to plan, and was it important in the first place? And as silly as that sounds, slowing my handwriting down allowed me to do that. We often hear you need to slow down, smell the roses once in a while. But in this ever-changing society, how the hell do you do it? Well, handwriting is one way. Reading is another. Reading, in reality, there's a lot of programs for speed reading, for shortcuts, for this, for that. But in reality, at least in my experience, and I like to read, I try to read almost every single day, I have not found any other way around just sitting and reading, taking the time to read the words on the page. I have a couple of friends that say, I don't like reading, I read too slow. Well, first of all, what's slow and what's fast? Why? Because somebody can read 600 words a minute? Are they comprehending it? I don't know. I know I read at a pretty average pace. It takes me a minute to 2 minutes to finish a page, depending on the density. But I know that if I sit and I actually read every single word in order, and I think about what the sentence means or what is it trying to convey to me, yeah, I might be slower. But I'm getting a deeper understanding of the material, and I'm getting a deeper enjoyment of the book. We have such a tendency to rush, but in doing that, we're giving up one thing for the possibility of another. It's something to consider. And I found that when I started to slow down, even my speech, I've tried to slow it down. I tend to talk very fast. I'm from New York, so I'm animated, I talk quickly. But in speaking to a camera and speaking to you, it's forced me to really think about the words that I'm using and the speed at which I'm doing it. So, slow down every once in a while. Handwrite once in a while. Read a full page without trying to skim. We have such a tendency to want to rush through things that you have to consider how much you're missing. And is the things that you're missing even worth the speed that you're getting? Probably not. There are no shortcuts. At least I've never found one. And every time I've tried a shortcut, I can assure you, it's bit me in the ass more than once. So, slow down. Try pen to paper. I know, it's kind of rebellious thinking that you're actually going to write in something that's been around for millennia, but now we type everything. So, be a rebel. Try something different. Read a paper book. Ooh, I know, shocking, right? Give it a try. See if it helps you slow down. See if it allows you to think your full thought. Something to try, something I've enjoyed, and I'll keep you posted. Have a great one.